Hello, my name is April and welcome to the Yoga Ranger Studio and welcome to our practice today. Today we're going to be working with just kind of opening the space of the upper back and the shoulders and the chest just a little bit to help loosen up some of that tension. This is a great practice to use midday when you have a little break, or before or after your normal workout, or before or after your yoga practice if it is a yang yoga practice. Just as a little additive. Also great for using right before bed to unwind some of that tension of the upper back. Don't need any props for this practice, but if your knees are a little bit sensitive, you might want to have something for padding underneath because we will be on our knees a couple of times. And that's it. So we're going to go ahead and start here. And we're going to start in child's pose. So bringing the big toes together, knees as wide as it feels comfortable for you, making a little space for your body to fit through in the center, sitting back on your heels, walking your hands out. And we're going to take a little lateral twist here. So walking the hands way over to the right, maybe taking that left hand on top of the right hand and walking the fingers out a little bit further, but still sitting back. Taking nice deep breaths here. Letting yourself soften and settle into the pose. Noticing your breath in these first few poses, these first few moments. Breathing into the belly space between the legs. And just allowing yourself to really fill your lungs all the way up. One more deep inhale and exhale. Lifting your head up and slowly walking your hands back through center. Walking the fingertips out, letting your head come down to the floor. And then lifting up and coming to the other side. Left hand walking out to the left. Right hand maybe crossing over and stacking on top of that left hand. Settling your right hand on top or off to the side. Notice wherever you feel sensation on this side, whether it's different or the same. Often sides will feel quite different. And gently starting to lift up and walking your hands back through center. You're taking the hands a little bit wider and just resting your forehead on the floor for a few breaths. Slowly and gently coming up onto all fours. I'm going to take a rolling panda pose here. So staying on your all fours, we're going to take the right leg out to the right, toes down, foot flat if that's possible. If it's not, that's okay too. We're going to take that left hand and slip it underneath with the left palm up. And you can either rest your forehead or the side of your head on the floor, taking that right hand up overhead. If this is just a lot for you, you can always just take that knee in and just twist with both knees side by side. And breathing into the back side of the shoulder and the upper back. Just a few more breaths. And starting to walk your right hand back in front of your face and very slowly pressing back up. Coming back onto all fours. We're going to take about 4 or 5 cat-cows here, just your own breath pace. Just dropping the belly down and then arching and rounding, pressing the mat away from you. Rounding the shoulders a little bit here. Slowly coming back to center here, taking whatever alternative you want on this side. That could be with the left foot out to the left. It could be with knees side by side. Walking the hands out a little bit and taking that right hand underneath. Palm facing up. Forehead to the floor or side of head to the floor and walking that left hand out a little bit more. Here again, if you get into this pose and you find that the leg out is just a little bit too much, you can always come back onto knees. We're really working with the upper back, so it doesn't really matter whether that foot is outstretched or in. Noticing your breath in a twist. Sometimes it's a little bit harder to breathe when we're twisting. Just noticing where you can place the breath in other places where you normally don't think of putting it. Maybe a little bit more in the lower back, the belly space. Just a couple more breaths. Starting to walk that left hand back in front of your face and very carefully pressing back up. Bringing your foot in if it's out. And here again, 4 or 5 cat-cows. Just pressing the mat away from you and dropping your chest and belly down. Little stretch. Each time you're arching up, just feel that you're really pressing the mat away from you and lifting the shoulder space, the center of that space in the upper back toward the ceiling. It's often the place I get stuck the most. And coming back to center for our last pose. So shifting your hips back just a little bit, walking your hands forward. If you have a lot of tension in your upper back, walking your hands super wide for heart melting pose. If you'd like to kind of feel what it feels like to have your hands closer together, you can readjust. Just a few more breaths. Starting to walk your hands back in a little bit and lifting all the way back up. Coming into whatever seat you feel most comfortable with. Rolling the shoulders forward a few times. And then back a few times. And bringing those shoulders way up to the ears, ears down to the shoulders, and then letting them drop down. Take a couple of breaths here to notice how your back feels, how your chest feels. Upper back often gets stuck because we're bent over a lot. I know when I'm on the computer, I move in toward the screen a little bit, even though I can see it just fine. I do tend to lean forward a little bit. And we have that natural curve of the upper back. So the more we kind of hold that position, the more the tissue gets stuck in that space and it kind of forms a little permanent position there. So we want to break that up a little bit and just shake it loose. That's the reason for a little bit more of the back bends and the shoulder opening, as well as the side body. We'll be able to breathe a little bit more and open up that space. I hope you enjoyed this practice. Link apparently did. He comes to visit every once in a while. Thank you so much for practicing with us today. You have a great day.